Welcome back to Your Real Estate Voice with Barb Schlinker, the weekly radio show that informs and educates you on how to buy or sell real estate with Barb Schlinker, the owner broker of Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty and the host of the program. Now, Barb, as the selling season winds down, I would think there are quite a few home sellers who have not had homes that sell. They're just not selling. What are the reasons that they're not selling, and what can they do about it?
Well, Richard, um, actually, it's interesting. A lot of people think that they should wait to the summer to sell, and there are seasons. But the truth is, we sell homes year round. Typically, the majority of homes available for sale happens in the summertime, but in the springtime is a great time to sell a home, especially in the Colorado Springs area, because there's a lot of military getting orders right around March, April. They're going to have to move in June, but there's fewer homes on the market. So homes tend to sell for a premium just in the Colorado Springs area during that time. And there's other prime seasons for certain areas, like Teller County is just spectacular in the summer. So we get a lot of Texans coming up here enjoying that and buying properties then. So I wouldn't call it seasonality at all. I think what's going on is it's all about supply and demand and making sure you get the 4 P's right: pricing, preparation, picking the right agent, and making sure that agent properly promotes the home so it doesn't get rejected online. Your first showing is online. You wouldn't believe how many buyers that tell me, I found the house. My agent didn't do anything. But the system is kind of rigged that way, where now it's sort of like all the photos and all the images are out there once the home is on the market on all the websites and the tech company sites. And the buyers are deciding which homes that they want to go see based on the online presentation. And that's why it's absolutely critical that the listing agent make sure that that property is properly promoted in that way. So preparation. Now, this depends on pricing. There are some people that think you have to go in. I met with one yesterday that had a beautifully updated home, but they wanted to update some more. And there was only one thing that I thought they should do. It was an inexpensive thing that would add another bathroom. That definitely would be something I would consider, because you're going to get the investment back. But some things don't add money to the bottom line, like tankless water heaters. And there's just certain things that solar systems, man, I've been in a lot of arguments with home sellers that think that their solar panels add that much value to the house. And the buyers are kind of like, well, it's nice, but they won't pay extra for it. That's the problem. And it's hard to prove it. So basically, home buyers, are looking for the best home in their price range in the area that they want to be. However, they will forgive an awful lot of sins and take a home as is if it's priced very, very, very realistically. Like I have one under contract right now, and it was taken back in foreclosure, which is a sad thing to say for me always, but I've handled a lot of sales for the VA. And this home, nice home in a good neighborhood, 4-bedroom, 2.5 bath. However, somebody broke into it and stole the appliances and stole the island on the kitchen countertop, the quartz island. And it looked like a professional job, like a surgical extraction of this piece of quartz, which is ridiculous. But anyway, so obviously the buyer would have to do some work. So the seller priced the home a little bit more than 10% below similar sales. And we had a bidding war on that home, even though it needed work, even though some of the doorway jams were broken, even though it was missing appliances. Buyers are like, oh, that's a great deal. I can get in the home, I can do my own work and go from there. The good news is overall pending sales are actually up. And I was talking to an agent yesterday, And we were talking about that. She goes, yeah, I'm busier now than I have been in a long time, especially in a January. So when you price a home, it doesn't take a whole lot to generate interest from a buyer. It really is all about looking at the whole picture, what's available for sale in that neighborhood, and what has sold is only solely to substantiate what an appraiser would think it was worth, only if your buyer is getting a loan. We made a price adjustment on one home recently, and the buyer that had just seen it just a few days before made an offer. So it wasn't, and we got two offers at the same time. Now, preparation is kind of important. And the reason I say that, I did just recently put a house under contract that it smells really awful. And it's a repo, but it's priced way under similar sales, and an investor is going to buy it and fix it up and rent it out. And that's fine. But in general, for a regular retail, what I call a retail sell, it's very important not to have a home that smells. I had one of my first brokers that I ever worked with used to have this saying. He goes, if you could smell it, you can't sell it. And I think that's very true. Sometimes people don't detect odor in the house where they live, especially pet odor. I had one client recently that had both pet odor, but it wasn't overwhelming. It's just that they vacated the home before they sold it. And so with the home being closed up, when a new buyer walks in to see it, if it's been closed up, every little smell is basically magnified. Also, he was smoking in the garage. Now, my husband does that. You know, he claims he's smoking outside. He smokes cigars, but I can smell it. I have a nose like a bloodhound, and I can smell it. And I know what's going to happen when we sell. We're going to have to kills the garage and paint and get rid of that, because people can pick up on it. I showed a house very recently, and the home was nice. The floor plan was nice. The buyer was interested. But when you walked in the door, it actually smelled like dirty diapers. And I'm like, that's odd, because the house is empty except for, you know, staging furniture. Obviously, they don't live here. I couldn't find any trash laying around. I don't know what it was initially. And so I gave the feedback to the listing agent, and I talked to her about it and said, hey, did you get my feedback? Oh, yeah, we went in there. We didn't smell anything. It must be you and the buyer. So she's saying we smell.
Whoa. You and the buyer smell like dirty diapers?
That's what she said. It must be you. And I'm like, oh, boy. Okay. And then my buyer did some research and learned something really interesting, that if you have one of those swamp coolers in your house, and you haven't changed the filter, it'll smell like dirty diapers. And I'm like, there it is. So I gave her that feedback. But anyway, those are some of the things, you know, in the case of the smoking in the garage and the main level carpet that just needed to be replaced, the seller only spent $4,000. And within the next couple of showings, we got a full price offer. So it does make a difference taking care of these issues, because buyers do not want to have to fix stuff right before they move in their new house. And, you know, if we've got a little bit lower demand than we had during the boom, you got to take care of these issues unless it's super, super low priced. And that brings me to the next topic, which is pricing. More than half the home sellers are lowering their price because their agent told them a price, or Zillow told them that their house was worth what it's not worth. And I just recently learned that Zillow bases their opinion, their zestimate of value, not on what homes have sold for, but what other homes are asking. So they've got a 65% failure rate. If 1 out of 3 homes are selling, they're basing their estimate on the homes that are not selling. It doesn't make any sense to me. And unfortunately, the agents just go along with that and go, oh, sure, you know, that's your home value, put it on the market there. And they offer this crazy high price, and they let the other agents be the bad guy and give feedback if they show that says it's priced too high. And then they get the price down eventually. I don't think that's ethical personally, but it happens. But right now, the problem is 87% of real estate agents are getting out of the business every 5 years. So most of them have never seen a flat market. They've never seen a correcting market. They don't know what to do. They look backwards when the prices are higher and go, yeah, your home is worth that much. Then they stick the home on the market and it's not selling. So that's why it's really, really important to hire somebody with experience and expertise and make sure you get the 4 P's right. And the last and one of the most important ones is promotion. If the buyers don't like the picture, you can't get them in the door. You only have less than 57 seconds to make an impression with the buyer. It has to be right. I took over a listing from one agent last year where they had used their smartphone to take pictures. They were awful. The home was beautiful. The seller had actually spent money bringing in professional home staging. They were overseas, they're a military family, still didn't sell because the pictures were awful. And so he fired him, hired me, we put it back on the market, and I sold it for full price in 9 days. So there's a way to do it and there's a way not to do it. My name is Barb Schlinker. I'm the broker owner of Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty and the host of this show. And we're talking about what to do if your house is not selling. If you are thinking of making a move, give us a call, 719-301-3900, or go to barbhasthebuyers.com. Richard?
Now, Barb, we're discussing the why a house may not be selling. What are some of the things that home sellers should do to sell their home fast and, more importantly, for the most amount of money?
Well, the first thing is figure out your selling strategy. Not everybody has the same, what I call motivation for selling. Some people tell me, I'm not in a hurry. There's no rush for me. It really doesn't matter, how quickly we sell. But I will tell you, most home sellers really dislike the pain point of showing after showing and the critical feedback. It needs too much updating. It needs this, it needs that. It's priced too high. Wah, wah, wah. There's always a number where you hit that sweet spot where the buyers go, I'll take it. And sometimes it's more than one buyer. So you can sell it as is for cash or to cash buyers or to the open market. You can sell it full market value. But on a full market value sell, the buyers are expecting it all. They want, I can't believe sometimes the feedback that I'm hearing, well, it needs too much updating. It's like, okay, but it has granite counters, it has stainless steel appliances, it has new carpet. What's the problem? Well, the basement carpet need to be replaced. They just don't want to spend any money. And the only thing that solves that is pricing it, what I call very, very, very realistically. And the market's going to tell you right away if you got it wrong. If you're not getting very many showings, it's a price thing. If you're getting showings but no offers, it's a little bit less of a price thing. If you're getting many showings but no offers or lowball offers, it's just a tiny bit. You got to make a move. And if you're getting offers that you're right there in the sweet spot, and you're probably just going to be able to pick the right buyer when it's time. My name is Barb Schlinker. I'm the broker owner of Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty and the host of this show, Your Real Estate Voice. And if you are thinking of making a move, give us a call, 719-301-3900, or go to barbhasthebuyers.com. Richard?
Listening to Your Real Estate Voice with Barb Schlinker of Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. If you are thinking of making a move, call Barb. The number is 719-301-3900, or visit barbhasthebuyers.com. We'll take a short break. When we come back, we'll be discussing how to buy your next home if you already have a home to sell. Barb's got that.